Hi, it's another day of our 30-day adventure. Today is day 7, and we are working with the frequencies of this book, Dark Times Catering. And each day we're connecting with another thread of the book, through the Akashic Records, and also just through life. And what I'm picking up on. And it's been a delight. It's felt so inspiring and so clear the way the book wants to be expressed through this 30-day process. And I just love tracking the threads this way. So today, day 7, we're connecting with the nourishment that comes from being witnessed. And I'm going to first kind of explain what I mean by witnessed, and I'm going to give you a couple examples, and then we'll drop in and connect with your own part of that process. So what I mean by being witnessed is truly feeling seen, heard, and felt. There are some healings, there are some expressions, there's some art in our life and breakthroughs that happen from it being seen, from it actually becoming a felt part of life. And feeling that reflection from someone else. My friend Sarah always says, like, there's some art where the art is not finished until it's been seen by someone else. And I think that's true about a lot of things in life, that sometimes having someone there, there's such a thing as the law of observation, right? That actually molecules change based on whether or not somebody is observing it. And so there's certain things in life where the healing or the breakthrough or the completion can happen because someone is there with us, feeling it and seeing it and watching us in our brilliance, in our sadness, in our creativity, in our yearning, in our hope, in our desire, in our joy. Like, there is a magic and a nourishment to having our experience be seen and felt. What's coming to mind for me about that too is just how social media has created an opportunity for us all to be witnesses to things that we wouldn't have been able to see and feel and connect with before we had technology on this level and this accessibility. And today is it's the anniversary of October 7th and what happened in Israel 2 years ago, and the catastrophe and just the devastation that has continued on up until today from that. And the way we are all in the experience of witness, the way we are all working through that. And I think a lot of the divisiveness and the polarization that's happening is in that pain of feeling that some people aren't witnessing others, or that people are disregarding what they are witnessing. And that's a longer conversation, but I do think part of what's happening in this experience is that we are getting to witness, that we are in an experience of being a witness for each other. And that's how things change when they're witnessed. And so, I was thinking about that today in my practice, with my client practice, that sometimes it's like, what are we doing? What's moving forward today? And sometimes it's just witnessing someone in the process they're in right now. And hey, Lauren, I was actually thinking this theme today is about being witnessed, and the nourishment of that. And it's interesting because I tonight have been with 2 old friends that I don't get to see a lot, but actually now that I'm in Asheville, one of them lives locally here and our other friend flew in. And right as I picked up my friend Lauren, I had just officially landed on a apartment. And this has been a whole process of like where I'm going to live here and what the experience is going to be. And it felt so good to have a friend there to witness that like in this moment of this long thread of like of finding home, to have an old friend who really knows me, and this friend in particular, like, we've really known home together. We were neighbors in Chicago, in Humboldt Park for a long time. We moved to LA around the same time. And so, like, it just was such a powerful thing to have a friend there witness me finding this next stage of home. And then we, drove by, and I got to show it to her, and I got to kind of like give her a tour of driving around Asheville, which felt very funny because, like, I've literally been here for like 2.5 weeks, and it just was, I have never gotten to like pick my Lauren up and pick her up from the airport and drive her around and introduce her to a city before. Like, there's something very funny and fun about that. And I enjoyed watching her and witnessing her like really have her first experience of being in Asheville, but also that was very powerful for me to be witnessed as, like, here I am, I'm here, I've got a car, I've got the apartment, like, I'm finding my way in the next part of my own life story. And so that's what I mean. That's one thread of what I mean by witnessing. And then we went over to our friend's house, and the three of us haven't been together since our friend was pregnant. We were on the beach together in Venice like 7 years ago, or maybe I think it's 7 years ago. And she was pregnant, and that was the last time we were all together. And it was so amazing to go to her house right now and meet her incredible daughter, who's now like just a person, because it's been some years. And now she's like just a 6-year-old, very smart person that we were getting to meet. And how special to see our friend and her in her parenting and who she is as a mother, and the home and this like beautiful life she's created. And we were all sort of, as we were dropping in, connecting, it's like there's just something very powerful about people who have known you for a long time witnessing you in the current moment you're in. And like one of my friends, I think it was Lauren, who said like, wow, like I've been keeping up with you guys and what you've been up to, but like it's a totally different thing to be in front of you, witnessing you, hearing you in real time in this like relaxed way. And for our friend to have people who have known her before she moved to Asheville, and we've all known each other for quite a few years from different lives we were in, to be able to be witnessed and in the amazing life she's created here. So there's something very nourishing about that. And it's also very nourishing to, as I said, see people in their pain and in their trials and tribulations and their sadness. I think that's why we have memorials and why we have funerals, and why we are all so magnetized at this moment to being a witness to what's going on in the world. Like it's like when we witness, things change. So when we see things in their sadness and in their pain, it moves something forward. The person is not alone anymore. It is now understood and felt by the collective. And when something really beautiful happens, or there's something to celebrate, or that is life-changing, to have people who have known us witness and see that and celebrate that with us. And that brings us further into that path. And then I just could feel that was what we were going to work on today. Like I saw it in my client practice. I was thinking about it with the anniversary of what today is. I experienced this with the friends. And I just opened the book and I said, hey, where is this in the book? It's just so amazing. The book has really been working as an oracle. And the book opened right here to this chapter, which is called The Apartment. And I'm just going to read you a little piece of it, but I just couldn't believe it. The book it's just such a powerful experience to have the book be witnessed, to have people be reading the book and having their own experience in the book, and also to witness the book being so tuned into what is being shared every day. And this chapter that the book brought me to is exactly right. It is a chapter about witnessing. So in this chapter, my brother's two best friends, James and Sean, and I were heading over to his apartment after he had passed away. The first thing we did was we all flew to Miami, and there was a lot to handle there. And so we stayed there. The three of us were going to stay at Gabe's apartment as we sort of like handled the next steps. And so we all fly in and we meet up at my cousin's house, and then we are going to this beautiful apartment building that we had all just visited Gabe in literally weeks earlier. And this was a very powerful experience for the three of us around witnessing. So we go to his door, and I'm just going to read you this piece. We're about to walk into his apartment, which no one has been in since he had just passed away. I turned the handle, and so I'm just going to read you this little piece because it's really about the power of witnessing. I turned the handle and opened the door. A hushed silence fell over us as the sudden realization hit that we were entering sacred ground. The last moments of Gabe's life were encapsulated here. No one had been inside since he died just over 24 hours ago. I felt the heavy responsibility of entering his private space, knowing he hadn't expected anyone else would see it. There was a striking vulnerability in that. How does anyone leave their apartment on a busy Monday morning assuming they're just heading downstairs for a quick workout? We all felt the need to witness whatever remained of Gabe's aliveness here, and at the same time, the desire to protect his privacy. This was our final chance to do that for him. The urgency of both things collapsed into a push-pull in my chest. There was still so much to sort through: his apartment, his phone, his computer, his storage unit. But for now, it was just about opening this door and taking a look. So that's just, and then in this chapter, it's one of my favorite chapters. It was such a incredible witnessing moment for me, of the three of us having our final experience to witness Gabe's last morning alive, and to protect his privacy. Like that experience was so profound. And so the rest of the chapter is about the experience of moving through his apartment and some more things after that. But yeah, the book brought me right to that page. So that's another example of witnessing. And I do feel that was a great gift of healing, that the three of us who had all lived with him — my brother had lived with James and Sean at different times in college and afterwards, and of course I grew up with him. So the three of us really, really knew the way he lived and like moved about a space and an apartment. And so, yeah, it was just like so healing to be the three of us gently walking through his space and like noticing together and witnessing together and witnessing each other. And the sacredness of witnessing the ways Gabe's form had touched things for the final time. So that's what I'm feeling today. I think we've touched a lot of different locations of what it would mean to witness, and what it means to be seen and to be felt, and the resolution and the healing we have when we see and feel, when we feel seen and felt. And also the collective journey we're on right now of what it means to witness each other, and the power of the change that happens. The law of observation. When we witness something, it changes. So before we complete, I just want to invite you to drop into your body, take a few breaths. Breathing in some space and some possibility. And just letting whatever needs to clear and release, clear and release. And just asking to see a moment where you really felt unseen, where something you were proud of felt like it went unnoticed, or a way you were really working hard felt unsupported, or something that you felt really alone about, or you didn't know how to share, kind of feels like it went under the radar. And just see that version of you and witness that version of you right now. What do you want to say to that moment in time? What would give that moment in time version of you the feeling and the healing and the transformation that comes from being witnessed? What do you want to say? How is this version of you making this current version of you feel? Let yourself be impacted. We are impacted when we witness. We are impacted by witnessing. Let yourself be impacted. Beautiful. And now, breathing in, feeling that part of you having now been seen and witnessed and felt. And now inviting you to see someone. Maybe it's someone in your life. Maybe it's someone you're calling into your life that you'd like to feel seen and witnessed by. Giving yourself that experience. Feeling what it feels like to be witnessed by this person who you already know, or maybe is someone you're calling into your life. What do you want them to see? And how does it make you feel? Breathing that in and then turning the energy towards them. And notice, even if it's someone you're envisioning from your future, notice what you witness in them, what you see and feel in them. And share that. Maybe say it out loud. No one can hear you. On this live stream, that is. And feel what it feels like, because it's vulnerable. That both sides can be vulnerable. And then before we complete, letting both sides dissolve, coming back into your body. And finishing this sentence, this week, I will let myself be nourished by having the courage to be witnessed in this way. And let that in, and then I will let myself be nourished this week, and I will be the nourishment for another this week by witnessing someone in this way. I make myself available to witness what? Notice the word that is there. And then just letting that drop into your body. Knowing whatever you needed to clear has cleared, and whatever you need to bring in is with you. I just send a lot of gratitude to the frequencies of the book. And it's so funny, as we're completing, a different friend just texted me to ask if I went with that apartment, you know? So that is the power of being in touch with each other and being part of each other's process and making time for that. and how that allows things to ground and become real and manifest in our life. It's important to have people we can bring into our process, and it's important to be in touch with the greater process we're all going through. So yeah, thank you for witnessing this experience. I hope something powerful came forward for you to witness in yourself and with another. And this is 30 Days of Nourishment with Dark Times Catering. This book is available now anywhere you like to buy books. I'll put the link for it, and we will talk tomorrow. Have a beautiful night. Bye.